warm welcome back from the weekend, everyone. I am Melissa Enoch, and this is your Money Moves Monday.
And I am Grace Agbaragu here at the Ticker Tape Room in Lagos. It's Monday, August the 18th.
All right, let's tee off with your news now. In South Africa, MTN Group, Africa's biggest telecoms operator, swings to a half-year profit with headline earnings of 645 cents per share, which reverses a loss of 256 cents in the same period of 2024. The JSE-listed group reports a 23.2% jump in service revenue to 105.1 billion rand, driven by strong growth in data and fintech. In the meantime, the telco giant announces on Monday a change of leadership from Ferdi Moolman to Charles Mola PC, and the takeover will be effective from November 1st. Charles, who returns to his role as Chief Technology and Information Officer with added responsibility for AI adoption. Still on earnings, East African lender, the I&M Group, today announced a half-year 2025 profit after tax of 8.3 billion shillings, supported by strong income and balance sheet growth. Total income came in at 27.4 billion Kenyan shillings, with pre-tax profits seen at 11.7 billion shillings. The big lender supported net loans and advances of 290 billion shillings, while customer deposits grew to nearly 430 billion shillings in the January to June 2025 period. Now let's hear more on those financial briefings from the investors.
Maybe just continue on that one. On the FX, especially for Kenya, our balance sheet is about 40% FX, 60% Kenya shilling, and nothing when you compare or you get those numbers from our peers. I think almost everybody is somewhere between 35. In relative, and I think maybe the way to understand our statutory reserve, I would like you to maybe think about it from an element of prudence. It's only 10%. If you're looking at Kenya, it's only 10% of our total shareholders' equity. Again, similar number group-wide. But then, and you can do this exercise, I'm happy to do it and share it, is if you take all of the banks, in our publications, the financials that we all put in the newspapers, we will show you what our gross loans are, what our suspended interest is, what our provisions is, and what is our net NPL. And for us, if you look at our net NPL, let me talk about the group numbers, but it's the same thing for Kenya. Our net NPL today is about 11 billion. Our statutory reserve is about 9.7 billion. So what are we telling you? From a capital position, we've actually more or less taken 100% reservation on our net NPLs. You compare us with any of the other banks that have a low number of the statutory reserves, and if they were to do what we have done, they would be losing 10%. No, they'll be losing about, some of them will be losing about 50% of their core capital. So for maybe just...
In the Northern African region, the Egypt Investment Authority, known as GAFI, is planning to build 4 new public free zones in order to boost export-driven growth. The GAFI CEO, Hosem Heba, says production will be entirely export-oriented, supporting the government's $140 billion export target by 2030, while prioritizing transition and environmental compliance. The new zones are expected to begin operations by the end of 2026, with infrastructure development fast-tracked in coordination with the new Egyptian Urban Communities Authority. In trade finance news this Monday, the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System has welcomed the Bank of Algeria into its network, making the country the 18th to join. The move, led by Afreximbank, the African Union Commission, and the AFCFTA Secretariat, marks a major step in deepening Africa's financial integration and boosting cross-border payments. Algeria's membership comes as the country prepares to host the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025 in Algiers, looking to welcome over 35,000 participants from 140 countries in the first week of September. In energy news, the Namibian government has invited the international investors to invest in the country's emerging hydrocarbon and hydrogen energy industry. That was the key message delivered by the country's Deputy Prime Minister at the recent oil and gas conference at the Capitol window. Let's now take a listen.
It is important to note that oil and gas have a potential to generate up to 7.7 billion per year in government revenue through royalties and taxes. Our government pledge is very clear. Every barrel, every cubic foot must translate into jobs, infrastructures, and opportunity for Namibians. The revenue will not be squandered. They will build schools, power our houses, and seed our renewable energy future. Local content will be the heartbeat of this industry. Our businesses, our skills at the center of value creation. To investors, I say, Namibia welcome you. Please feel welcome. But you must partner with us on our terms that protect our environment, respect our community, and share the benefit fairly. To Namibians, I say, this is your oil, your gas, your future rise. Prepare and take your place in this new front line.
And finally, on today's news now, Egypt's MISR Digital Innovation has received a central bank approval to transition into One Bank, the country's first fully digital bank. One Bank plans to deliver all services exclusively through digital channels, advancing national digital transformation and financial inclusion. The new entity is set to launch products and services in 2026, positioning Egypt as a regional leader in digital banking innovation. I am Melissa Enoch, and that is your news now. We have Grace Agbaragu coming up right after the break for our market rounds at the FMDQ ticker tape room.
Welcome back to Money Moves. Let's track the first trading day of the week, starting with equities. In Nigeria, the NGX All-Share Index edged slightly up 0.07%. The BRVM in Abidjan firmed up 0.18%. Cairo's EGX ended lower, slipping 0.41%, while in South Africa, the JSE retreated 0.63%. Let's do a quick round on some of the Pan-African currencies. The Rand edged lower 0.08%, while the Egyptian pound weakened 0.14%. The CFA franc softened 0.07%, and the Kenyan shilling was steady down just 0.02% at 129.20, while the Moroccan dirham gained 0.17% and the naira depreciated 0.28%. Let's switch into the commodities deck for metals prices. Copper fell 0.90%, while aluminium slipped 0.87%. Platinum held steady with a 0.08% gain, and iron ore edged 0.24%. That's as of 12:38 GMT. That's our money moves markets today. Back to you, Melissa.
Thank you very much, dear market woman Grace, for those market updates. That's a wrap on today's edition of Money Moves. From all of us here at the FMDQ studios, we say thank you for watching and bye for now.